The other stock which is our theme 6 of the day, is of course ITC Hotels. Now, it is expected to be excluded from the BSE, but there are some benchmark and some key highlights that you need to know about. It's of course being excluded from the BSE today, but not from the NSE yet. The date from exclusion from the NSE has not come in. It's also expected to be excluded from the Sensex in the last 30 minutes of trade. But there is a caveat and a condition that it shouldn't hit any kind of lower circuit, which has been on the stock. So if it does not hit lower circuit today, it will be excluded from the BSE. And Nuvama is maintaining that, roughly a 48 million outflow is what's expected today because of this particular transaction. But Lancelot, let me get in your view on ITC Hotels as well as the hotels as a whole, because they have been doing pretty well. IHCL came out with really strong numbers. Chalet also has seen a decent run. Any outlook on ITC Hotels specifically, and the larger hotels change? Anything that you like currently?
Well, I think, ITC Hotels valued about 35,000 crores. It is doing well, and you are seeing significant growth, with all the measures that are proposed by the government, both in terms of opening, new airports, new destinations, the focus on tourism, making tourism as an infrastructure industry. I think all these augur well for the hotel industry per se. And ITC Hotel is the second largest, domestic chain of hotels operating in India, and they would be benefited by this kind of growth. So because there's very low capacity coming up in the near future, room revenues are going to remain elevated for the next 2 years on the back of strengthened demand. So I think the hotel industry and ITC Hotels would be a very positive, investment opportunity, because the next 2 years earnings growth should be much better from this sector, and it will be more consistent as compared to, let's say, in the past. So from that perspective, I think, from a long-term perspective, yes, it could be an opportunity. One should look at this as an opportunity to accumulate some stocks in this space. And the other company that's going to do very well in this space has been Indian Hotels, because they have adopted an asset-light model for their expansion in terms of the number of rooms that they are adding to the capacity. So that company also should do well, although at this current valuation, it is a little bit stretched, but any decline in the price should be used as an opportunity to add, because the next 2-3 years should be very good for the hotel industry and Indian Hotels and ITC Hotels as well.
Okay, Sarvendra, I know that ITC Hotels will probably not have a lot of data since it's very recently listed. But if you can give us your view on ITC Limited as a whole, what's the way forward here?
I think on the hotel side, I think we have very few data candles where we can do any meaningful short to medium term kind of setups also. So that as you said, we'll let it pass. But on ITC as a whole, I think we are nicely setting up properly for a pullback at least. The stock has consolidated between 430 to around 450, 460. So a breakout post 460 would definitely add another 30 odd points here. So, but this will be a conditional buy. You have to have a break and close of a 460. In that case, you will definitely target for the region of 490, 500, and anybody doing that trade then when it breaks out, I think you would be also keeping a stop loss at around 440 below that.